Why Roblox Piggy Chapter 12 is a terrible game. Before we start, I would want you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to our channel. Here is why Roblox Piggy Chapter 12 is a terrible game. The end of an era. In case you didn't know, Piggy Chapter 12 is supposed to be the last game and final editions of the Piggy saga. Hence, we should be getting some good conclusions to wrap up this story and answer certain questions like whether George will get kidnapped again, etc. This new chapter has a new map as well as 2 new skins. Many people were underwhelmed with the new updates since this is the last chapter. People expected way more new and exciting additions to the game but were left less than satisfied. Maybe game creators wanted to stay true to the simplistic origins and chapters of the game, but they still could have given players new and exciting things to use and enjoy. For many players, it felt very underwhelming and lazy. Maps and flashbacks. The game starts with you and George behind Mr. P entering the power plant, which is the map where this entire chapter takes place. One of the features of this game was that along with the new map, players were allowed to see flashbacks of previous maps combined. I think it's safe to say that this whole entire Piggy saga has been a roller coaster from the start, but the flashbacks don't do anything to help solve the puzzle of the last chapter, and it's a weird feature that the game creators could have done without to allow players to focus on this game rather than the previous ones. When you start a new chapter, it means you're ready and equipped to figure out what happens in the game and don't really need flashbacks of previous maps. Big plant. As we know, this new chapter is a sort of industrial plant with lots of boxes, machinery, railings, and different types of room. While this setup looks cool and is quite different and interesting compared to previous chapters, it's also a very big plant, which is a little concerning. Maybe it was the game creators' intentions to expand the floor in order to make players work a little harder to crack the codes of the game and get to the ending. While we respect and love a challenge, especially when it comes to Piggy, there could have been different ways to do this, like adding more obstacles, as otherwise it just gets kind of boring and exhausting after a while. Having a big game floor means it takes a long time to find all the formulas, keys, and place them where they belong. It just becomes more of a headache than an actual exciting challenge. The so-called good ending. If you didn't already know, the last chapter of Piggy has 3 different endings you can choose from based on the decisions you make at the end. This is definitely a cool and smart idea to have at the end of the game, as it gives players freedom to choose on how they'd like to end the game. Different people will be more drawn to different decisions and hence get different endings of the game. That being said, there's definitely some inconsistencies and things that just don't make sense in the conclusions. If you leave Mr. P and go outside the plant with George, you'll meet Ziggy and Pony, who have destroyed all the infected monsters. As it turns out in this version of the ending, Mr. P is not evil anymore and actually joins this group to go on to find a cure. Although this seems like a sweet and innocent ending based on Mr. P's history, it doesn't really make sense how he would just have a change of heart and join the good side to find a cure after all the things he's done. Even though this ending is good, it should still be consistent and make sense along with different parts of the story. We just don't buy that Mr. P would join the good side and do what's right, and many players felt the same way about this ending. We do see that game players are trying to do by giving us a happy ending, but it just doesn't seem believable or exciting. And after all, are there any good endings? The bad ending is, well, bad. If you decide to talk to Mr. P when the cutscene ends and leave George, you definitely have the bad ending coming your way. As you start to talk to Mr. P, an infected monster comes in and attacks you out of nowhere and it lights out. You see yourself slowly turning into a monster as the credits roll. Well, this may seem like a fair ending after leaving George. Many players thought that this was a rather abrupt and random end to the game, as you couldn't even talk to Mr. P or get any closure before you are attacked and the game ends. Even for a bad ending, we feel like this could have gone a few different ways and that would have been more impactful and felt less sudden. The true ending. It took a few weeks for players to figure out how exactly to get the true ending, and for a while it seems impossible. People thought the true ending might perfectly conclude and wrap up the Piggy saga. For the true ending, players have to pick Chapter 9 in the Player Plus Bot mod, which is an extremely hard one. The players then have to escape and finish plan in one go. This overall seems like a lot of work for an ending that is not that crazy or conclusive, but for some may be worth the effort. This brings us to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you will love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.